The Power Hour West is going to begin with another legend. Ironically, that tie-in between North Carolina and Kansas, we've been talking about it a bunch today with Coach Smith and Roy Williams, and this guy joins us now. Absolute brilliant coach. Larry Brown joins us. Coach, good morning. How are we doing?
I'm doing fine, guys. It's great seeing you again. I see you every day when I'm in Charlotte. You brighten my day.
Well, we appreciate those kind words. So how crazy was it yesterday? I mean, we all kind of thought it was an April Fool's joke right after we signed off around 10 a.m. And, again, you've had great connections to great coaches and programs throughout your entire career. But what was that like yesterday when you got the word that Roy Williams was going to step down at the University of North Carolina?
Well, it's kind of deja vu. When Coach Smith resigned, I had training camp in Chapel Hill. And, at that time, practice didn't start till October 15th. You couldn't even see the kids from after the season till October 15th. And he came in, I used to show him my practice plan. I really never had a practice plan except when I was around him, and I'd show it to him, and he'd look at it, nod his head. And he told me he was retiring. And the first thing I thought was, gosh, he's got to be sick. And he said, no, Larry, I'm just tired of all this minutia around that I have to do. If it was just basketball, I could handle it. And he said, I'm going to get him to hire Bill Guthridge. And I think at that time they were only going to give Bill a one-year deal. And then Coach said, wait here. And he went into Bedore's office, came back. He said, Bill's going to do it for 2 years. And that was the greatest thing because he kept it in the family, left Bill with a really, really good group. And it was kind of a relief. I don't know if Bill really wanted to be a head coach, but because of Coach did it at such a strategic time, he had to do it. And it worked out great. He coached 4 years, had a lot of Carolina people around him. It was really something that made Coach real comfortable. But then, see Roy do it, again, the first thing came to my mind, he must not be feeling well because he had such a passion, and I thought he enjoyed this season and these young kids so much. It kind of really surprised me. So obviously my phone's been blowing up, and I'm really thankful that, I texted Hubert a couple of times. He said, Roy's fine. He was just tired.
Yeah. Coach Brown, when you think of Carolina basketball, and you are as qualified to answer this as anybody else we could have on this show, because your ties to Carolina start all the way back in the early 1960s. When you think about the legacy and the coaching legacy of a singular program like Carolina, this is monumental stuff when a Roy Williams steps away with 900 wins. Dean Smith left with almost 900 wins. I mean, this place is unique in that light, and you've obviously, as an assistant and a player at Chapel Hill, but you also coached at one of the other iconic places that Roy Williams did in KU. I mean, you understand the depth of this makes this different, doesn't it?
Absolutely. There was a time, Coach Smith called me up when Bill resigned and said, Larry, I'm going to recommend Roy for the job. He's a college coach, got college ties, but if he don't accept it, I want you to come and follow me. I want to keep this in the family. And then he said, Larry, my goal someday, if you're here, when you finish, hopefully Phil Ford would take over. Because, the African-American kid has meant so much to Coach and what they've done for the program. And as it turned out, it didn't work out for me that way. But fortunately, Roy took over for Bill, after spending 15 years at KU. And he's just carried on. I don't think anybody could have done it any better or made Coach Smith any more proud than both Bill and Roy in the way they've conducted themselves, the way the program's developed, the type of kid they've turned out. I think he'd be smiling right now. And my hope, maybe I'm wrong, I've been hearing a lot of names. I have a gut in my gut, I hope Roy Williams picks the successor, and I hope it's somebody from the Carolina family. I'm not telling anybody how to do their job or how they should act, but I just know what Coach Smith would want. I know what Coach McGuire would want. I know what my high school coach, Bob Gersten, would have wanted. Keep it in the family. We haven't had a problem with it, and let's move forward.
Coach, I'm going to ask you kind of a crazy question. It's not necessarily Roy related, but it's basketball related. And you've had such incredible success on all the levels, player, coach, the whole deal. You were the coach at UCLA. You're a coach at Kansas. You got North Carolina ties. I mean, those are as blue blood as it can get. You throw a Kentucky reference in there if you're in the mood. What distinguishes North Carolina basketball from Kentucky and UCLA?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. UCLA is different from everybody because they're in LA. It's a city school. They have the Dodgers. They have the Rams. They have the Lakers, the Clippers. They have so many other things. Kansas just has basketball. North Carolina is in an area where basketball is so special because of all the iconic programs. But, I'm a Carolina guy. The fan base, the excellence, the people that have, been on top of the program, the way they've handled themselves, the players that they've turned out, the loyalty amongst the players and the fans, it's just unique in my mind. It's somewhat similar to Kansas. When I went to KU, the first thing I did was walk up in the stands in Allen Fieldhouse, and I was sitting down with people that have been there since 1952 or 3, whenever Allen was built. Came to every game, cared so much about the program. When they had more people in the Hall of Fame than any other program, they were so proud of the program. And then, here I am, UCLA, Kansas. I have, Coach Smith. I was his assistant. I played for him and Coach McGuire. I just got this feeling, wow, Carolina is unique, Kansas is unique, and I don't know how anything compared to it in my mind.
All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. So Roy's retired. I know how this works for you guys. So there'll be at some point down around Pinehurst where it'll be you and Roy and maybe Hanners and a couple other guys. So how's that golf game going to work now that he doesn't have to use the coaching excuse?
Well, he's going to be mad at me because I'm 80. I'm going to play for those front ass tees. So, he's not 80 yet. So instead of me hitting a drive, a 3-wood, and a wedge, I'm going to be hitting a drive and an 8-iron. So I don't know if a lot of those guys are going to like that. But there's going to be more than just Roy and Hanners and myself. There's going to be a whole lot of Carolina people, and they're all going to be begging. I promise you that.
I got news for you, Coach. As competitive as Roy is, I don't think he's going to let you get up those front tees. He's going to say, hey, big man, you step in the back here with the rest of us. I know how he rolls on that golf course.
He let Bill Guthridge and Coach Smith do it, and they were younger than I was. So, I really won't beg. I promise you. But every shot I hit, I'll have the wind at my back. I promise you that.
Well, I know this now. Yeah. If Roy's watching this morning's show, he sees this interview, you got no chance. You lost all your leverage because Roy's going to have a game plan for you, my man. Got news for you.
Well, all I know is, and you guys, I hear you. I remember I was listening to you, and you had him on before a game, and he said he wouldn't come back unless he won. He was so superstitious. I got a kick out of that. And he did win the next game, which made me smile. But I just hope he's happy. I'm so proud of what he's done and what he's meant to the program, what he's meant to kids. I really, and I know you guys, there's a lot of people we can talk about that are qualified. Top of my mind right away. I thought about Hubert. I thought about Jerry Stackhouse. I thought about Wes Miller. I just want Roy to, have a say in this whole thing. And I know whoever takes over, if he has Carolina ties, if Roy Williams has touched his life, or Coach Smith has touched his life, I know we're going to be in good hands.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's great to see you. Stay well. I tell you what, if my dad were alive and knew we were talking and we didn't talk about Stacey Hall, we'd be in real trouble, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's probably true, but you've carried on pretty well, and the Packer family is pretty well represented.
Appreciate it.
So
Larry,
thankful
you're great.
You guys. Take care.
Thank you, Coach.
Stay safe.
Appreciate
All right.
it. Stay safe.
You bet. Larry Brown, that's phenomenal.